What just happened? Let's try this again. There we go. Is that better? Is that going to work now? Can anybody see or hear me? I'm going to actually get out of this and try again. There we go. We're working. We're good operational order here. Just a second. I don't know why I can't see what's going on my screen. It just says orientation is locked, but it's cool. We're cool. So today we're going to be making one of these beginner-friendly cards that y'all know I try to come on every Wednesday, which I haven't recently, but so basically today we're going to be making one of these floating element cards, also known as a penny slider card. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to go ahead and slide this up like so. And this is a good beginner project. I'll make sure it's beginner friendly. And we're going to be using our birthday Quokkas stamp and die set for the sentiment, which I'll do differently. I messed this one up badly. And we're going to go ahead and stamp that out. I'll show you how to color this. I'll show you a little trick to do that. And we're going to cut out the balloon as well, which is from the same stamp set and die set. And we're also going to be using the Crafty Quokkas 6x6 cardstock pad. So what we're going to do first, I'm going to go ahead and show y'all how we're going to, also, I'm going to show you how to make this floating element float around like this without a specialty die. All you'll need, honestly, is just a pencil and an X-Acto knife. That's all you'll need. It's pretty awesome. And we're just going to start, before I forget again, we're going to make our own foam double-sided tape today as well. Using just a regular piece of fun foam. And we're just going to cut every ½ inch and all that. And some ATG tape, which I don't have the ATG gun, but I do have the tape. And it works wonders. You don't have to have the ATG gun in order to use this stuff, believe me. So that'll be coming up in a few minutes. But first, we're just going to go ahead and start. I'll tell you how to make this card base real quick. So we're going to start out with a piece of cardstock that measures 8.5 inches by 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And what we're going to do is basically just cut a piece of 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock in half. And score it down the middle at 4¼ inches. After you cut it, you'll get 2 card bases out of each sheet of cardstock. And alternatively, you could also cut it at 4¼ by 11 inches and score it 5.5. And you have a top folding card. But we're just going to do it this way today. We're going to make this a side folding A2 card. So we're going to go ahead and first things first, I want to put this down. This is going to be our main mat for the card. I'm just going to take some Barely Art Glue, which we have in the Katscrappiness store over at katscrappiness.com. So go ahead and put some of this on. Of course, it's not going to work for me. There we go. You can use your glue of choice, but my glue of choice these days is technically Barely Art Glue. It's got a strong hold, it bonds to most surfaces, and it dries pretty quickly too. Like I said, you can find that in the Katscrappiness store too. You can also find the refills in there. Thank you, Jan. I had not even thought about saying a link for that one. So we're going to start out with this being here. And before I forget, I cut this at 5 1/4 inches tall by 4 inches wide. This one piece here, the blue. Now next, we're going to take 2 pieces of our Crafty Quokkas 6x6 cardstock. We're going to cut them both down. I'll show you where we're going to come down to in just a moment. Going to cut it down to 5 inches. By 3 3/4 inches. And I'll show you all why in just a moment. So as you can see here, we cut this down 1/4 inch smaller than the card base. So we're going to want the next layer on top of the mat to be 1/4 inch smaller than that. So that's what it's going to be like. But we're going to need 2 of these. So we're going to go ahead and cut another one here, 5 inches. By 3 3/4 inches. Now I'll show you why we're using 2 of these in just a moment. So we're going to put this up. So I actually went ahead and stamped my Quokkas. This is from the Birthday Quokka stamp set, of course. And I stamped it with black ink. And I went ahead and put it on craft colored cardstock. The reason why is because we can do a little fun effect with this. And you can see already that I colored one in already. I'm just going to color this one in a little bit for you. But what we're going to be using is our Sharpie acrylic markers. And I think that's going to pop the make the Quokka pop here some. So I'm just going to go ahead and color the ears and the nose and the feet in, just so y'all can get an impression of what it looks like. There's the ears. There's the nose. I'm going to get the feet real quick. And there we go. So these acrylic markers, I'm thinking on this craft color cardstock, are really going to make the colors pop on this. And it really makes the craft cardstock pop a lot too. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out because this one's already done. So let's see. I'm going to grab my scissors here. Now I'll show you how to line these up and everything. Got some washi tape here, and I'm going to grab my die. And I'm going to show you how to line this up. Okay, so you can see here on this die here, there's two sides to it, of course. The plain side, that's the side that's not going to face the paper. And this side is going to go ahead, you're going to put down on the paper. And these grooves are what's going to cut it for the beginners, if you didn't know that already. So I'm going to go ahead and just match everything up real well. I'm going to take my time on this. I'm thinking I got this. Gonna put it like so, the tape on. And I'm gonna make sure that most of the tape does not touch the inside of the die. I'm going to put another one over on the bottom part here. Make sure it doesn't touch the inside of the die that much, if at all. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut it out with the die cut machine. I won't show that part. We all know how that goes. I think this is really the only die kind I need to do now because everything else I cut out last night, as far as die cutting goes. So now we'll peel the tape off very carefully. I am using washi tape, which is usually low tack, but sometimes it's not. And here we go. We have an almost perfectly cut out quokka holding a birthday present. If y'all can see. So we're going to throw out the excess. And now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make our a little floating element. I'm going to go ahead and take a pencil here. Thank you, Delise. Actually, I think my mom bought those for me for Christmas. No, my sister bought them for me for Christmas. And I think she got them. I think they're available just about everywhere. So we're going to go ahead and start maybe like right about here. And I'm going to go ahead and draw like so. We're going to try to make this even throughout. Sorry if my hand's in the way. I am left-handed. And And if there's any areas that are too thin, we can always go ahead and cut them out more when we're done. But we're going to go ahead, I'm going to get my finger blade now. I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting. Long lines that I just drew. I think I messed up here a little bit. I made it a little too wide, but that's okay. I can always go ahead and make the other side a little smaller. Or not. So here we go. We have our little squiggly line here that I just drew out. And before I do anything else, I want to put this on here. Well, actually, I want to do something else too. I'm going to go ahead and cut out, let's see, make this 4 inches. Maybe like an inch here. See how that goes. Gonna go ahead and stamp out the happy birthday sentiment. Now I'm going to use some archival ink with this one. It's a blue color. I'm going to go ahead and just do this where y'all can see it. There we go. Gonna put this, actually we're gonna need to cut this down some more. That's right. Forgot about that. I think you'll be fine now. Okay, so we're gonna glue this down. This is where I messed up last time. I went ahead and put the sentiment straight onto the cardstock and it messed up. Didn't quite get full coverage and it did not look good. I had to do it again and it messed up. So I'm going to go ahead and lightly, somewhat lightly, burnish this down. I don't know why this is not staying down on this end. And glue's coming out, it should stay now. Then we're going to have our little quokka scene here. And then next we're going to make our little penny slider element. That's right, there are no mistakes in crafting, only happy accidents. That is right, Jana. I'm going to go ahead and burnish this down some. There we go. And next, I'm going to show you how to make the penny slider element without a penny. prepare to have y'all's mind blown. So there are a couple ways you can do this. You could use 2 pennies, like the original concept, or you can layer some thick cardstock and punch it out with a paper punch. But I did have a 1-inch paper punch. It would not go all the way through this chipboard, and I wanted chipboard badly so it would work properly. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go ahead and die cut 2 circles out of some chipboard. If I can find that die, that'll be great. There, I found it. Okay. So this one's about 5/8 to 3/4 inch round. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out twice. We got one done. Just got to punch her out. And you might also want to do like 2 on each side, 2 pieces, cut out like 4 pieces of chipboard. And like have a lightweight chipboard actually. So you can either punch it or die cut it easier. Because this was a little difficult in and out when I die cut it just now. So just layer 2 on top of another, on top of one another, and then go ahead and do that twice for your pieces. Or you could do like some thick cardstock, like 8-pound or something like that. Do 4 layers on each side. Either way, it'll work. Okay, so then we're going to put that die up. And get this a little bit off of here. And let's see here. We'll take one of our balloons, like this one here. Cut that out yesterday. I'll move that some. That's blue as well. I didn't realize that till just now, but everything's going to be blue just about. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the top of this piece of chipboard here. And I'm going to go ahead and do like so. Actually, I'm going to move that a little bit, I think. There we go. That's better. Make sure you got the piece of chipboard in the middle of the balloon. Middle of the top part, if possible. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get a square. It could be any kind of foam dot, round one, square one. I'm going to use a hexagon shaped one right now. And I'm going to pull out my Katscrappiness reverse tweezers here. These are a lifesaver, believe me. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these hexagons, put it on like so. Then we're going to, not quite flip it over yet, but we're going to go ahead and we're just going to go ahead and try to make this work here real quick. That should work. I hope it will. It's not acting like it will. It's acting up on me. But if we need to, we will always be able to, cut out more if we need to in a moment. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to cut out just a little bit more here. I'm just going to cut out a little more on this one side the whole way. There we go. Maybe that'll work now. And thank you, Jana, for the links. Gonna need just a little more off this top part here. Just a smidgen. Might as well take a little more off this too. See how this will work? I think it's about to work this time now. Yeah, it ought to work now. So we're going to go ahead and just straighten out this balloon here. Make sure it's nice and straight. And we're going to pull off the backing on this foam dot. We're going to go ahead and put the other piece of chipboard on top, which I kind of butchered that, I think, big time. Actually didn't put that on well enough. But you can see it works. It floats now. So now we're going to need to put some foam tape around this, all four sides, but alas, I don't have enough. So I'm going to show you how to make your own. All you need is a piece of foam, fun foam, and in the appropriate color, and a paper trimmer. And we're going to cut in these in 1/2-inch wide strips. But what happens when the paper trimmer won't go all the way through? You just bend it back like that. Some of it went through all the way, kind of. And then we're just going to tear it off like so. We need 4 pieces. One for all 4 sides. You will probably have some leftovers when you're done. See, we're going to bend it back and then tear it like a perforated line. So what y'all thinking about this here so far? Give me your opinions. Does this look beginner friendly to you? Uh-oh, I made that 3/4 of an inch. We won't use that piece. There we go. That's 1/2 inch. Thank you, Jan. I really appreciate it. So we got our 3rd piece now. Fold back and tear at the line. Probably won't need the 4th one, but I'm going to make one just in case. Fold back and tear. Yeah, it is a tad bit challenging, I'll admit, but we all do need a good little challenge every once in a while. But I'm trying to make everything as basic as possible for the newbies. The newbies in the crafting world. And here we go with our ATG tape. Go ahead and put it on both sides. Yes. ATG tape and a piece of foam to the rescue. I probably shouldn't have taken both sides off yet. But I did, so well. I'm going to put it right up against the edge here. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this edge off here. A little excess. And we're going to go ahead and take this next piece, take off one side, and stick it down. So I'm going to use this side here. Right up against that edge of the cardstock. Now we can cut off the excess. Actually, there's a little more needs to be cut off. I'm going to get some scissors for this. Gonna cut that around right there. I think this will work. We already need 3 pieces, it looks like. We got a little left over from that even. Uh-oh, tore that up some. So I'm going to go ahead and put this piece on next, right up against that edge. And this one too, right up against the edge. Now I'm going to set this aside just for a minute, because we got to put our next piece down before we put that on. So this is our bottom sheet, bottom mat for the, you know what I mean, I hope. This is the bottom part of our top part, I guess. Something like that. This is just so it won't look too crazy when you see through the, through the top part, the part I cut out. Basically is what I'm saying. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go ahead and let's see if this will work past here. Yes, it will. Okay, good. Gonna take our backers off here. 1, 2. Get that off somehow. We don't want to do that. And 3. And now we're going to line it up right up against our other one that we just glued down. Just going to burnish this down really well. Just punch it down some. Make sure it's really good and stuck well. Roll around some with your thumb. Burnish it down really well. And now you have a birthday Kawaka floating element card. Paint slider to be exact. So what y'all think about that? Does anybody have any questions? Thank you, Jana. I thought that was a great idea. I'm sending this to somebody too. I'm going to send this to a crafty friend of sorts, but yeah. Thank you, Delise. Think it's cute. Okay. So I guess if we don't have any questions, I'm going to go now. And don't forget, if you're watching a replay, leave a comment, please, in the description. In the comment section down below. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section, and I'll try my best to answer them as soon as I can. But I hope you all have a great day. Hope you all stay safe, stay hydrated, and all that good stuff, because it's going to be hot out there. All right. Good, Delise. You're going to give it a try. That is awesome. Jana, I hope you try it too. And, of course, if you try to make this card, please do go ahead and leave it. Take a picture, post it in the Katscrappiness Insiders Facebook group. And make sure you use Katscrappiness products so we can, yeah. So we can see what you did with our Katscrappiness product. So, hope you all have a great day. Like I said, stay hydrated, stay safe and everything, because it's going to be hot out there this week. So, and it's going to be stormy in some parts of the country too. So, hope you all have a great day. Bye.